guys, guess what I'm doing? You guessed it, I'm sitting in bed. And I've been sitting here for the last hour, just praying, talking with God. Sometimes it's frustrating, right? It's like, sometimes it feels like the little guys, the down and out, the outcast, the hurting are just getting tossed to the side. And it's like, sometimes it feels like church is a place where if you're put together enough and you can contribute enough, it's going to work for you. But if you're hurting and you don't have enough to give, well, then you're not really wanted. And I've been thinking and talking to God and praying about the church and thinking out loud about the church and having conversations about the church. And I think it's time for me to put my money where my mouth is and start a home church. But what I wanted to tell you guys is I don't know what I'm doing. I have a good prayer life. I read scripture. I know scripture. I know my own walk with God. I know my own journey. I have a good relationship. I want to do something with that. And I've been in so many churches where it's just if I wanted to do something, it was what they wanted. It was the programs and the pre-programmed in the box stuff, and which didn't seem to really be meeting my needs or the needs of others. So I want to step out. I want to try to start a home church, not because I think I know what I'm doing, but because I just know what's happening in the corporate church, the institutional church isn't working. And so I'm just inviting you on this journey. I'm asking you to step out with me to start a home church. Not because you know what you're doing, but because you have a heart for people, because you have a desire to do something different, because you think that despite your inability, God can still show up when you step out. And that's what I'm doing, guys. I'm in some ways, I think I have the heart of a pastor. I have the desire to really mentor and shepherd and walk with people. But I want to start to do that in the context of a home church that meets once a week at the same place at the same time and creates space for people to come together and share in the journey of Christ with each other, right? To really create Christ community through a little bit of a structured format, right? I'm just putting it out there for you to come along on this journey of home church with me, to do what I'm doing, to try to let's do it together. Right? I'm going to share my journey. I'm going to start to do this thing. I think it's great to have conversations. It's great to have a social media presence, and it's great to encourage people in that way from a long distance. I think this is God's next step for me. And, I never intend to put truths out there that I'm not practicing. Okay? I wrestle with the things that I'm saying. I wrestle through the things that I'm saying. I've wrestled to the things that I'm saying. I'd never say anything trite. It's never a platitude for me, guys. I have wrestled deeply with these things. I've struggled and I've been in the trenches, in the institutional church. I've seen that it doesn't work. I've given my heart, my soul, my pocketbook, my time, my focus and attention to the institutional church for 40 years. I've seen that it doesn't work because I've tried to make it work. Now I'm going to try something different. That something different is home church. So I'm inviting you to come along with me. Not only to see what I'm doing, what I'm trying, whether it works, how it works, if it works, but to do it for yourself. Guys, you and one other person meeting once a week for a set time at a set place. That's home church. And so what if you don't know what you're doing? So what if you don't feel qualified? So what if you don't feel like you know enough scripture or you know anything at all? It doesn't matter. God does not call us to be experts at anything other than just a desire to meet together and love each other and let the Spirit lead. I believe if we commit to come together, God will do the rest. The Spirit will move. God will show up. He will make it happen. He will make it work. I've seen that time and time again, guys. When I step out because I believe it's God's leading, God shows up. I'm telling you, if you know nothing, feel like you can't do anything, but if you trust God and step out, that's the formula. That's where God shows up. God delights in people who take a risk even when they don't feel like they're able and capable. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do. Not because I think I know something more than others or can do something more than others, but because I'm willing to step out, take the risk. So I'm just inviting you to come along. Try it out too. Try to start a home church. And it doesn't have to be in your home. It can be at a coffee house. It could be at a bar. It could be in the park. It could be at the library. Guys, home church, it's a loose term. It just means that you're going to start to get together with other Christians to fellowship in the midst of a journey with Christ. That's it. So that's what I'm going to do too. Join me and let's see what happens. Let's take a risk. Let's step out. Let's stop waiting for other people to do it, for the institutional church to do it. Let's try it ourselves. All right, guys. Love you.